Question: who has the best chili? Why, Kevin Malone did. Until he dropped the pot on the floor. Let's hope that doesn't happen to me today. In this episode of Sweetly Savory, we're going to be paying homage to Kevin's famous chili with a little twist. Soy Chorizo chili. Thankfully, I didn't have to stay up late last night pressing garlic, dicing whole tomatoes, or toasting my own ancho chilies, and that makes this recipe a really great weeknight dinner. So let's get this party started today on Sweetly Savory. Sweetly Savory, how do I explain it? That's actually from the Dundies, different episode, but if you can't already tell from all the paraphernalia I wear of Dunder Mifflin, that I love The Office. And I'm super excited to be able to pay any sort of respect to my favorite cold opening from the whole series. So I came up with this recipe on the fly after having some soy chorizo left over from making the TJ's inspired frittata. And I was like, what am I gonna do with this? I wanna use it creatively, but you know what? How much more creative can I get? Wait, chili, genius. It's meat, it's spicy, it's got good flavor to it. Why not? And what you're gonna need for this chili is half a diced onion, 2 cups of pepper diced, 2 14.5-ounce cans diced tomatoes, and we're gonna be using diced instead of dicing our own whole tomatoes, like Kevin. 1 heaping tablespoon of tomato paste. I realized that I didn't have any tomato paste in my fridge, but that's okay. I've got ancho tomato paste sauce stuff left over from another recipe that I made, and I'm gonna use about a tablespoon of that. Half soy chorizo crumbled. We'll be using half of this big old link here, and I'll show you how to take it out of this casing because you do want to take it out. It is wrapped in plastic. And 1 can each of kidney beans and pinto beans, drained and rinsed. Well, on the show where we just wing it, I realized that I didn't have any pinto beans, so we're gonna go with garbanzo or chickpeas because I am the chickpea queen. And you're probably thinking, where's the chili spice? In their little packet or spice blend. Everybody's got one for their favorite recipe. Well, this is all that we need for this particular chili. I just happen to be particularly biased on this one. And it's not because of product placement or a sponsorship of any kind like that. I just simply love Trader Joe's. Make sure to show Sweetly Savory and Kevin Malone some love by liking this video down in the description below. If you've wandered into this video and are enjoying yourself so far, welcome, 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 welcome. Consider subscribing. I'd truly be appreciated, and tune in on Tuesdays now for the latest and greatest of Sweetly Savory. Oops. All right, let's get everybody into the pot and so they can get to know each other. Start by turning your pot on to medium heat, and we're gonna add a little bit of oil. Grapeseed oil is probably gonna be your best bet, or vegetable, because we don't want anything that's gonna weigh down our flavoring. And first you're gonna start off by cooking down the peppers because they're gonna take the longest. I always tend to forget this because they take the longest to dice up. So take my advice and just do the peppers first. You'll thank yourself later. Go ahead and add our peppers. It's been a few minutes, probably about 5 minutes or so, and I might have lost track of time, but our peppers have softened down a bit. And I left them in bigger pieces because you want to know that you're eating peppers. So they've softened. Let's go ahead and add our onion. And while these things are getting started in the pot, it would be a great time to get the beans drained and rinsed so that they are ready to go. And you shouldn't have to add any other extra oil to your pan at this point. I'm gonna cook my onions until they're translucent. I'm not gonna undercook them like Kevin. I think undercooking them at this stage would be good if you're gonna do like a whole day chili. Say it's on the stove for like 3 hours or something, or you're putting it into a crock pot. That way it all cooks together evenly and not just kind of a rush, a quick meal. But we'll cook these until they're a little translucent, just on the cusp, and then we'll start to add everything else to the pot. Just gonna take a peek at our onions. Everything's coming together and being really fragrant. Now would be the time to add the salt and pepper that I mentioned. And I've got those right here in this bowl. I've got about a 1/4 teaspoon pepper and maybe a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I am using the coarse flaky salt. Since we've got our beans all rinsed and out of their cans, I'm gonna go ahead and get my chorizo started. Gonna take that out of the package. I'll show you what that's like in a sec. This chorizo is kind of messy, and I definitely recommend when you're going to store the remaining part of it that you do so in a Ziploc baggie, because it will stain, it'll stain your fridge. Just be a big bloody mess. And we only need half of this, so as you can see, comes out of the casing already. I had cut the plastic casing by accident, so just gonna plop it right out of here. Here we are. There's that other little piece. Cool beans. Beans for chili. You're just gonna wanna wash up your mess. So I'll go ahead and get my hands rinsed real quick and put my rest of my chorizo away. Go ahead and break up your meat. And you'll want to heat this meat until it's 165 degrees. And it's kind of hard to gauge that for chili, but it'll be completely warmed through by the time we're done assembling everything. This smells so stinking good. I wish I knew what Kevin's chili smelled like, because then I could have a good comparison, but alas, here we are. You want to slowly add that stuff in. Avoid too much of a mess. And this ancho chili sauce. And another little weird thing that I'm going to add are carrots. And that's completely optional. I left it out of the beginning part of the recipe because it's not really part of the recipe. I just wanted to add some because I had them left in my fridge. Okie doke. This is looking super tasty. And an added benefit to adding carrots to anything, and I'm pretty sure that I've mentioned this before, it's to cut back on the acidity of the tomatoes and the spice. Some like sauce recipes call for a teaspoon of sugar added to your sauce, and that cuts back on the acidity too. Carrots are a healthier way of cutting back on that acidity so that you get a little extra added veggie in there, and you're also going to cut back on the acidity and help your esophagus some. Everything's back to a boil. Low boil, not like a giant rolling one. Not making a mess. Lava lamps. So let's go ahead and add our beans here, our chickpeas, and our black beans. Everybody's gonna get to know each other in the pot. Now you'll want to warm this through for a good 10 to 15 minutes just so the peas and the beans can get warm. But you can heat this up to a full 30 minutes if you'd like, and if you have the patience, because this smells so stinking good. And it's made quite a bit. You can see how much there actually is. It's stinking good. And there we have it. Our homage to Kevin's famous chili. My soy chorizo chili instead. Vegan friendly, gluten-free, and super, super flavorful. Let's go ahead and give this a quick taste. It's so good. Like, it's just the right amount of spice. It's not overly done. And I love the combination of the different beans and the veggies all together. This is definitely a substantial meal. One that's really great for winter or any time of the year, to be quite honest. With that, thanks so much for watching this episode of Sweetly Savory Homage. If you've enjoyed this video, please make sure to drop a little thumbs up in the description below. And if you haven't already, subscribe to Sweetly Savory, and make sure to share it. You'll never know who you might affect, and insert some cheesy line because I can't come up with any right now. We'll see you again next time on Sweetly Savory.